Greetings and welcome to another video in our VoiceAttack new series. In this episode, we're going to look at loops and how we can use them in a game to make our life a little bit easier. But let's have a look at what loops we've actually got available to begin with. If we go into the profile and make a new command up, we go to Other, then to Advanced, and then we can see we've got loop start, loop end, loop break, and loop continue. There's three types of loops in VoiceAttack. So the single and compound condition while loops will run whilst those conditions are either met or not met, as the case may be. Repeat a certain number of times, we'll repeat it a certain number of times, and then it will exit. The repeat indefinitely loop, as it says, will run indefinitely until something breaks the loop, but they can be a little bit dangerous, so I would not use those unless you've got a really specific reason to do it that the other two can't manage. So how can we use these loops in a game? Well, as an example, in Elite Dangerous, one of the games I play, there's lots of menus that you have to navigate through to do different actions. One of those is getting out of your ship. If I pop into the game quick and I can show you what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm on a planet surface, and if I look down the roll panel, as it's called, so I can get out on foot, or I can get out in a little buggy, an SRV. But I need to be on this particular panel before I do anything. Now I can just make up a quick command. We'll go back in here. We'll go key press, and I need to press number 7 to look down. And then I could put a pause in here. Let's say a tenth of a second. And then I could then do another key press, which would be D to look right. Put another pause in, we'll just duplicate that down there. Key press, and then leave number 6 to select the option. And that should deploy me. Go back into the game. Wake up VoiceAttack. Disembark. Disembark. Oh, didn't change the command name, did I? Put back in there quick. Helps if you have the command name correctly. Let's just change that quickly. I'm going to call it disembark. So disembark. Alright, so now we can click on Done, go back into the game and disembark. That was really quick. It worked, but it was really quick. Now, if there's a little bit of lag or latency in the game, then that wouldn't have worked. But what we can do is we can use a loop to make sure we're at that particular panel. And in case it's dangerous, it writes out lots of information to files which we can read using a plugin in VoiceAttack, which makes it really handy. So if I open this file up, this is the information we need. And in this case, we're looking at here, this one here, GUI focus. So if I copy that out quick, if I pop into the game and I look down at the panel, I pop back into, click on there, we can see that focus now changed to 4. So we know that that panel is number 4. I'll pop it back up quick, and there we go, change to 0. So now we have that information, we can use that in our command to make sure we're at that panel using a loop. So if we go back in, now what we can do there is we'll go to Other, Advanced, Loop Start, Single Condition, and we want the integer option. Paste that in. So we need this to loop until that variable equals 4. So we want does not equal, and then we want 4 there. We want to put a slight pause in. We'll get rid of that one there actually. So it gives the game time to update VoiceAttack via the plugin. pause, and let's do 1/10 of a second. And then we can OK that. We can give it a quick test. Disembark. And it was a lot smoother because it waited until we was looking at the panel. And that will account for any latency in the game. And that's a good example of how we can use a while loop. So if we wanted to do something X number of times, like press a key, if we have a look at one of these menus in Elite quickly, pop back to there. Say I wanted to go to a particular location on one of these panels here, for example. I want to go down to the synthesis menu. I would have to press the down key 1, 2, 3, 4 times to get to it. So we could, if I go back to the profile, make a new command up quick. We're just going to call this, just call it synthesis. Now we could just do key press. In this case, it's S to go down. We could just do this and then slight pause, 1/10 of a second, and we could copy that like that, and that would work. So if I pop back into the game, synthesis. Oh, we've got back down one too many, but you get the idea. We go back into the command. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that works. But we could use a loop to do the same thing and make it neater. What we do is we go up to the very top, we'll do Other, Advanced, Loop, repeat certain number of times. In this case, 4. We could also do a range as well. So we could say from X to Y. We'll just keep it simple for the time being. So do that. And we'll put that above there. We'll put that loop in there, and then we can get rid of all this. Now if I now go OK and then done, turn that back there, go up to the very top. Synthesis. We got down 4 times. Now we could be clever and use that same loop to move to different bits on here. So if we go back into the command, what we can do is, if we go into synthesis, we rename this to invent move. I'm going to turn that off. We can change that to a variable. There we go. New command. Synthesis. And we want to set a variable integer, which will be move down 4. And then we want to call another command, which in this case is going to be invent move. And we'll see if this works. Synthesis. Great. Perfect. It works. So what we can now do, using that is, if we go back into the game, we can just make sure that this is always at the top. So I want to just do key press, in this case W up, hold that in for half a second. That means it's always going to put the left-hand panel at the very top, and then we can make other commands up. We go and copy this one, duplicate. We can call this one encoded materials, and we only want to move that 3 times. We could copy that one again, and then we can do materials. That'll be 2 times. Well, 2 times in one way. And then we've got refinery. That'll be 1 time. And then the other one we've got in Elite Dangerous is cabins, which are for passengers. Duplicate cabins. Can't spell. No, what's that? And we want to go down 5 on that case. We do that and we go into the game. We can test things. Encoded materials. Materials. Cabins. Refinery. The only thing we forgot was cargo, but we can add that in quickly. Put back into here. And then copy that one quick. And we'll call that cargo. In this case, we don't need to move it down at all, so we can just delete that completely. Cabins. Cargo. Oh, why did that go down again? Oh, I know why. I know why. I need to set it to 0. What we'll do is we'll go in there quickly. This is why you do your testing, you see. Wrong one. That one there. That's what I want there. So copy that. Move it up there. Because we're not resetting the variable, so that's remembering the last value in it, in each case was 5. Okay, and in there, I'm going to go and check this quickly here. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Cargo. Oh, we need to go. We need to make it hold down a little bit longer. Maybe we'll make that just go for 0.7 of a second. Cabins. Cargo. Okay. Materials. Refinery. Encoded materials. Cargo. So there we go. We've now made a series of commands to navigate the inventory panel using a loop to move up and down the page. So you go. That's how you can use a couple of simple loops to make your life a little bit easier, your code a little bit tidier, and maybe a little bit more efficient. You can do more complicated things with loops, but if you're interested in that, let me know, and we'll do it in another episode. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, what do you think, put them in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, click the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe too, and share the video out. Until the next one, take care, and I'll see you soon. Toodles!